Hi, my name is Tim Lee. I'm a geologist and equity research analyst. I've focused on the natural resources space, and in particular, primarily metals and mining. In this channel, we are going to talk about investing in natural resources, including overviews of what natural resources there are out there, and also what types of investments there are. As well, we'll talk about what to look for in those investments, what to evaluate in, for example, a mining company. What are some of the key factors, and how do you dig in and really do your due diligence before investing? Now, why would you consider investing in natural resources? Well, the key factor is really the commodity or underlying resource itself. The Earth, it's not getting any bigger, but our population is. And our economic demands also are, as more and more parts of the world are developed and brought to modern, technological levels. And with that, we have more and more demand for materials to construct buildings, for materials to build automobiles and other vehicles, and for materials to, particularly now, build the electricity and electronic devices that we use in our modern life. And as those materials are already mined out, more and more companies have to turn to exploration methods to look deeper or look at more difficult deposits to extract. Perhaps it's because it's difficult to get, for example, the copper or gold out of the rock. And so with that, it's important to look at companies operating in the space because their resources are more and more valued as, and perhaps more and more rare as the demand continues to increase. Now, what are some of the specific key resources that we're talking about when it comes particularly to mining? Well, one area is building materials, and we don't talk a lot about that. I'll primarily talk about metals areas, but building materials have long been important. Whether you're talking about granite, whether you're talking about lime and materials for cement, or gravel for roads and so on. These are important, but they're often dealt with locally around in places around the world. But then looking at metals, we have different classifications of metals. We have precious metals such as gold and silver. We have what are called base metals or industrial metals that may include iron, but also nickel, copper, and lead and zinc. But we also have particular now an increasing number of specialty metals that are important, particularly in the electronics space. For example, lithium as an important component in batteries, or rare earth elements, which are an increasingly important topic as China dominates production, but there are people looking for production from elsewhere in the world. As well, we have other types of things that are mined, like coal and tar sands that's used for oil production and so on. Now, a little more about myself. As I said, my name is Tim Lee, and I have bachelor's and master's degrees in geology. Studied a gold deposit for my master's thesis, and subsequently worked also in the environmental space as well as the mining industry. I worked on water treatment technologies, and we may touch on water and environmental investments as well, in addition to mineral resources. I subsequently worked as an analyst for some financial firms, looking at metals and mining companies and junior exploration companies, and looking at their projects, evaluating what their projects consisted of, their management teams, different aspects of the companies, to try to decide if they were good investments. That included financial modeling, reading their technical reports, visiting mine sites, and writing reports with my recommendations for whether these were good investments or not. Now, this video is primarily an introduction to some of the topics that we'll be talking about. And we will have a series of videos going more in depth into investments in this space and especially what you should look for when doing your analysis to look at these investments and whether you would decide to put your own money in. If you enjoy what you're hearing, please like and subscribe. And please take a look at my other videos. And we'll continue to produce more. And I look forward to your feedback on what are your thoughts and perhaps companies that you'd be interested in us taking a look at, and other investments as well, investment vehicles like ETFs and mutual funds that focus on natural resources. Thank you very much for your time.